In this video, I'll make this 3D drawing, and this drawing can be made in 3 different parts. So in the first part, we'll make this geometry, and then in the second part, we'll make this cylinder, and in the third portion or the third part, we'll make these 2 solids. So let's start with the first part, and for that I'll start with the line tool. So go to this line command and click anywhere in the drawing area to start the line. Move your cursor towards left and enter a distance of 88 units and press enter. Now move your cursor upwards and enter a distance of 18 units, press enter. Now move it back and drag this point and make a rectangle. You could have also used rectangle tool obviously for this. Now I'll go to the line tool again and once again click at this point. Now move your cursor towards left and enter a distance of 59 units and press enter. Now move it upwards and enter a distance of 31 units and press enter again. Now press enter again to exit this command, and now go to the circle tool. Now click at this endpoint and make a circle with radius of 38 units and press enter. Now press enter again to repeat the circle tool and click on the same endpoint and make another circle with radius of 19 units and press enter. Now go to the circle flyout and select this tangent radius option. Now click on this circle and then on this line and enter a radius of 19 units and press enter. Now go to the same option from the flyout tangent radius and click on this circle which is inside, and then click on this line and enter a radius of 38 units and press enter again. Now go to the line tool and select this quadrant, and if you're not able to see this quadrant, then go to the object snap and select the quadrant option. Now move back to the drawing, click on this quadrant and enter a distance of 38 units and press enter. Now press enter again to exit this command and enter again to start the line tool. Now go to the quadrant of this circle, move it towards left and enter a distance of 38 units, press enter, and now join it with this endpoint and press enter again. Now we'll remove all the unnecessary parts from this drawing, and for that I'll select the trim tool. So select the trim command, press enter, and now start with this part of the drawing which is not required, and also click on this part. We are not able to trim this part, we'll take care of this later on, but before that I'll click on this part and also click on this part. Remove this portion and remove this portion. Now remove this one, and this one. So now we are not able to remove this portion because the points at this portion of the geometry are not connected. So the geometries are not connected and we need to ensure that they are connected. For that I'll press and hold shift key. So this will convert our trim command into extend, and now click on this line. And here we have it. Now these are connected and we can trim it. So now click here and it will trim it. So now click on this line as well. We need to trim this one, and now press enter. So let's see this portion, and here we have some issues. So we need to clean this part of the geometry. So select it and erase it. Now select the trim tool again, press enter, and remove this part of the geometry as well. And now we have a completely clean drawing here as well. So let's remove this arc, and now go to the circle tool again. Select the center radius option and click on this endpoint once again and make a circle with radius of 64 units and press enter. Now go to the line tool and select this endpoint and press and hold shift key, then right click, select tangent and join it with this tangent point and press enter. So now go to the line tool once again and click on this endpoint here and move it towards right and enter a distance of 25 units and press enter. Now move your cursor upwards and enter a distance of 37 units and press enter. Now move it towards left and join it with this endpoint. So drag this point and join it in this way and press enter again. Now we need to create one more geometry here, and for that I'll select the line tool again, select the same endpoint here and move it downwards. and enter a distance of 19 units. Press enter. Now press enter again to exit this command. Now make a line that passes through the midpoint. So select this midpoint and join it to this point and press enter again. So now this part of the drawing may seem confusing to you, but we'll make it clear soon. So the last detail which we need to add here is a chamfer, and for that go to this flyout, select the chamfer and select the distance option from the command line and enter a distance of 3 units, then enter and then press enter again. Now select the multiple option and click on this endpoint and then on this endpoint, and also click on this endpoint and then on this endpoint and press enter here. Now go to the line tool, click on this point and join it with this endpoint here, and now go to this arc flyout and select start and radius option. Now select this as the starting point and this quadrant as the end point and enter a radius of 20 units and press enter. So now we can remove all the unnecessary part from the geometry. For that, once again we'll select the trim tool, press enter and click on this part and also on this part and press enter. Select the arc and remove it. So now we have created all the geometries which are required, so remove this part as well. So before making any 3D geometry, we need to create a closed region in this part. So for that I will temporarily hide this line. So select it, then select isolate and hide objects. Now select this line and erase it. Go to this draw panel, expand it and select this boundary option. Now make sure in object type polyline is selected and select this pick points and click inside this area and press enter. Now you may not see any difference in this drawing, but now we have a closed polyline here which we'll use in a moment. Now we can bring back the hidden geometry. For that I'll go to this option and select end object isolation. We also need to bridge this small gap, so I'll select this line tool and I'll join it with the endpoint, and now we can hide this complete geometry again for a moment. So I'll select this hide objects option. We can remove all the extra portion of the geometry. So I'll select this part and also this part. And select erase. Now go to the press pull tool and select this part of the closed geometry and enter a height of 25 units. Press enter. Now select this portion of the geometry and enter a height of 5 units and press enter again. And now press enter again to exit the press pull tool. So right now you may not see any difference in the geometry, but it will become visible in a moment. For that I'll select this drop down and select the shaded view. Now orbit this geometry a little bit and the 3D portion is clearly visible here. Now we again need to add thickness on this side as well. So I'll go to the press pull tool again and select this part and enter a height of 5 units. Now select the part which is under the 3D solid which we have already selected. So select this part and enter a value of 25 units and press enter again. So now we have added the thickness values. We can bring back the hidden geometries, and to bring back the hidden geometries, go to this unisolate objects option and select this end object isolation. Now select both of these solid geometries, then right click, select isolate and select isolate objects. Now go to the top view and select the polygon which we have created. So here we have this polyline geometry. Select it, go to this flyout, select the revolve tool and click on this endpoint and then on this endpoint and press enter. So now we have our 3D geometry as well in the drawing area, and we can bring back the hidden geometries as well. And here we have it, the geometries in the drawing, and we'll remove this portion in a moment. But before removing that geometry, we also need to add one final detail on this side. So for that I'll go to this right view and rotate this in geometry a little bit, and now go to the coordinates panel and select this view option. Now move this drawing here and go to the draw panel and select the circle tool. Now make a circle with radius of 6 units, then press enter. Press enter again to repeat the circle tool and select the same center, and this time enter a radius of 25 units and press enter again. Now select the line tool and click on this quadrant and enter a distance of 19 units. Press enter. Now enter a distance of 50 units. Press enter, and now join it to this point here and press enter. Now we need to remove all the extra geometries. For that, I'll select the trim tool, press enter, and now select this portion. And if you're not able to trim this geometry, you can always use the break tool. So select this break tool from the expanded modify panel, select the circle. Now click on this first point. Now select this as the first point and this one as the second point, and here we have it, the required geometry. Now go to the press pull tool, click inside this geometry and enter a thickness of 16 units and press enter. Press enter again to exit this command. And now orbit this drawing a little bit, select the 3D geometry, go to the move tool, click on this endpoint and move it on this endpoint. Now select this geometry again, go to the copy tool, click at any point in the drawing area and make sure your cursor is following the z-axis now, and enter a distance of 72 units and press enter and press escape key, and we have the copy of that 3D object. Now we only have one more detail to add, and that is we need to remove this extra portion. But before removing that, we need to combine the complete geometry into a single unit. So I'll go to this union tool, select the complete geometry and press enter. Now go to the circle tool and click at this center point. But before doing that, we need to obviously change the UCS, and for that I'll go to the back view, go to the coordinates and select this view option. Now we can orbit the drawing a little bit and select the circle tool and zoom into this area, select this point and now make the circle with radius of 12.5 units and press enter. Now go to the surface tool, select the extrude option, and from the status bar select this selection cycling option. If you're not able to see this option, then go to this customization and select this selection cycling option. Now go back to the drawing and click on this circle. You'll see this menu. If the selection cycling option is on, select the circle, press enter, and now move it all the way to the downward direction. And now go back to the home tab, select the slice tool and select this complete 3D geometry and press enter. Now select the surface and select the surface and press enter. And here we have the sliced geometry. Now we can remove the surface and we can click inside this geometry and we can remove this portion as well. So select it and erase it, and here we have a completely clean geometry. You can also remove all of these 2D geometries. These are no longer required. Select the move tool and move this 3D object and remove all of these 2D geometries as well. And here we have the final 3D object as per our own requirement.